Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Wade Watches. I'm Wade. I hope you guys are keeping warmer than I am wherever you are in the world. And today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm doing another television review, which I do every blue moon. I don't do it very often, as you've probably observed by now. But I'm doing this in honor of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which was yesterday, and I'm doing an episode of one of my all-time favorite TV shows, The Boondocks, in honor of MLK Day, because I return to a particular episode of this show every year. You guys probably, those of you who watch The Boondocks or are at least familiar with the show, probably know the episode I'm talking about. That's right, season 1, episode 9, the return of the king, from I want to say 2005, 2000 or 2006, I think 2006. And I watch this episode every year just because it's like The Simpsons, where it's so painfully yet hilariously, but still painfully accurate and eerily prophetic. Like, people say The Simpsons predicted a lot of stuff. Well, this Boondocks episode unfortunately predicted a lot of stuff as well. So without giving away much, just in case you haven't seen the episode, and since it is like a half-hour episode and I'm not going to summarize everything that happens, this is basically a what if story. What if Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Survived being shot? What if he came back decades later in the 21st century? How would he feel about the state of African Americans in the 21st century? Would he feel like he accomplished his goals as a civil rights activist, or would he feel disillusioned? And again, those of you familiar with this episode probably know how he feels about black folks as depicted in this episode. And and as for yours truly, let me just say this. He's right about a lot of things. He got a lot of things right. And it's unfortunate that a lot of the things that are said in this episode and depicted are accurate, and still kind of stuff that the black folks in America are still have to deal with today, and are still trying to improve on. But for my money, it's still true of, like, the state of African Americans to this day. I mean, the only thing that's changed is that the cultural references, this is, early 2000s, are, a bit dated, but the concepts and the main message of what this episode is trying to get across is still relevant to this day. And hopefully it'll get less and less relevant. In some ways it has. I think we as a people have progressed a little bit. We're getting stuff done, but you have that that ignorant herd unwilling to adapt, unfortunately. But all of that aside, this is easily one of my favorite episodes of the Boondocks. I like the Elseworld story. I like the deep message that this episode gets across, that kind of opens the forum for debate and makes you think about a lot of different things. Aaron Magruder is a very brilliant parodyist and satirist, and that definitely shines through in this early season 1 episode. A lot of good jokes here, a lot of humor, and I like how it's not, despite how I started out with, like, talking about how this really does make me think about, like, the real life state of that black community, because that's what this episode deals with. It's still funny. It still has that cartoonish charm to it, where you can still kind of laugh at it, because I laugh my ass off every time I watch this episode. So it's still funny. It's not all doom and gloom. So wrapping it up, I'm going to give this episode of the Boondocks a 10 out of 10. Still holds up after all of these years. The message about the black community, and how Dr. Martin Luther King would probably respond to how the state of black folks today is still as relevant as ever, but it's still a hilarious episode that doesn't take itself too seriously, but still manages to have a deep message behind it. And that's a rare feat to pull off, where something's not trying to be the most serious, most thought-provoking thing in the world, but can still be really deep while simultaneously being really funny. So I really dig this episode of the Boondocks. The first 3 seasons is a solid show. 4th season is when of course, the show goes off the rails because Aaron McGruder had left by then. But this is an episode where he was still very much involved, and therefore it's a brilliant piece of satire, parody, and even a bit of drama and tragedy. So 10 out of 10 for The Return of the King, season 1, episode 9 of the Boondocks. This has been another TV review by Wade Watches, and I will see you all next time. And I guess I'll count this as a Black Movies Matter review as well. Peace.